What is good, homies? This is Chris from the Small Hat Crew, joined today by Small Hat Nick and Small Hat Brandon. And today we are taking a look. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, Nick.
Hey, how's it going?
So we will be taking a look at some new cards that have been revealed. And my God, I think this might... Would it be exaggeration to say that this is like the best wave of cards we've seen yet?
Oh, 100%.
Oh my God. Oh
Wait,
my God.
100% would be an exaggeration?
Do you think it's an exaggeration?
No, that's... I'm asking if that's what Nick said.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my bad. It's not an exaggeration to say.
No, I don't think so at all. I think these cards are insane. Oh my God. So we'll just go ahead and jump into it. I don't know what order we're gonna look at these in, but I do know what I want to start with. I can say that much. And I want to start with Sanji, blue character, 9 cost, 9,000 power, strike, Straw Hat Crew. On play, reveal the top 1 card of your deck. You may put into play up to 1 revealed character with the cost of 9 or less other than Sanji. Then place the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck. This card's fucking insane. This card's incredible. Of the cards we're gonna look at today, this is my favorite one. I love this card.
Yeah, this card's absolutely nuts.
No,
of course, I know Garen's not here for us to like make fun of him, but the first thing he thought of is, oh, what if he reveal Ivankov to play Luffy? That's a 22-dog turn.
I will say the Ivan players, probably will, because they already play the Dovey blocker. Maybe, I'm sure they'll find room for this. I don't know. But
well, hold on.
What? Okay.
No, I haven't top players. What I'm so this is my favorite card revealed because, as everybody knows, I'm Queen 100%.
Blelo Queen, baby.
And the issue with Blelo Queen is sometimes you'll drop a big body and it just gets dealt with right away. This Sanji says if you set up your turns like your Dofi blocker, look at the top 5, whatever blocker, if you set it up right, this Sanji gives you 2 big bodies in that 1 turn, so 1 is 100% sticking on the next turn.
Yeah.
This card is just, especially with it being in blue, the only card that can look at the top of its deck and reorganize. This card is stupid good.
Yeah, we're kind of paying some homage back to our boys in blue, our boy in blue, Doflamingo leader, playing off the top.
Yeah,
I forgot that was one of Blue's colors
too.
Yeah, I forgot that was one of Blue's like gimmicks, and because I remember when me and Garen were talking, we were trying to figure, we were trying to figure out like what other things a blue giant body could do that hasn't already been done. Because bottom decking's already on Mihawk, bouncing is on Kaido. It's like what else is there that they could put on a big body? And I forgot that it's playing off the top of the deck. There is that. Yeah. So. And it's amazing. So you were talking about that in Blelo Queen. I've been coping on this in Blurple Crocodile, because a lot of Blurple Crocodile is a lot of the like issue with that deck is not being able to close the game out because the board, not being able to establish a board. And like you're saying with Blelo Queen, like you get the 1 body, but if it gets dealt with, kind of like with Queen, although not nearly as extreme. Croc would be back to the drawing board. The 1 body was answered, and then also because it's like in that deck too, because it's like with Queen, you can just drop another big body heal, whereas with Blurple Crocodile, if the body was answered, you couldn't always comfortably put down another body on the following turn without dying.
Right.
So because at least with Queen, you'd heal back up and get that cushion, but yeah.
And with this in Blurple Croc, you're gonna slam down an 8-drop Croc with it and heal a life.
Another 9K body.
Slam down a Yamato.
Yeah, you get that heal. Oh my God. The thought of this too, this guy like cheating out of Yamato and healing. Oh my God. It is. I love this card so much. Oh my God. And it's like no matter what he cheats out, even if you don't hit like the high end like a 9 cost character, even hitting like a 7 cost character, that's still a 16 Dawn turn.
Ooh, brother, you play 7-drop Croc off this. It's still powerful.
I know. That's where I was going with that. That's when I said 7 cost. That's where I was headed.
Even like as long as you don't whiff, even like let's say in Blelo Queen, even getting a blocker off of it, not bad.
The fact
you still get a 9K body and a blocker.
Yes, the fact also that he doesn't bring the character in tapped. I mean, the bodies are so big it wouldn't matter anyway. But the fact that that's like not even something you have to even consider. And plus he synergizes amazingly. I've seen some people discussing things that he could be doing with potentially other cards we're going to be taking a look at in this video. I was talking to Garen earlier. He was saying some crazy shit about like in Red Blue Vivi, this cheating the secret VV off the top of the deck.
Oh,
Giving
wow.
it the rush, yeah. Yeah,
I
or
like
cheating
that.
out the 9-beard. I think that's also kind of
Oh yeah,
potent.
cheating out 9-beard kind of stupid.
Yeah, so
Overall, though, I give this card personally it takes a little bit of setup, but I still think this card is a 5.
yeah, I love this card. I love this card so much. I do think 4.5 is the more realistic rating that it should be getting, but
Yeah.
just with my affinity for it, I would also give it the 5. I love this card.
Oh yeah, no. Like even in Blurple, this card could play 7-drop Kid from the top of deck. It's so ridiculous.
7-drop
even
Kid,
9-drop
9-drop Kaido.
9-drop Rush Kaido.
I will
Yeah.
put a asterisk on the VV. VV text says all 3 cost or higher red characters gain rush.
Okay.
So it
Oh,
would
right,
not
right,
give
right,
Sanji
right.
Rush.
It's
Very
crazy too because we already discussed that. I repressed it. Yeah. Oh my, this card is incredible. And then I'm sure we'll mention him again as we look at the later characters. But
The reason I'm gonna give this character a 5 is because it's 9 cost and not 10. The stat line really doesn't matter. The fact that it's 9 cost, a lot of blue leaders that would want to play this need to use a Dawn for their abilities, such as Blurple, Croc, and Queen. So those 8 and 9 drops are super important. So like the 10 drop Kaidos, they're good, but it's your whole turn. This says you can still do something on that turn, and for blue being that support color in those decks, this is the boss monster that blue needed 100%.
he really, because also it's like, because when you really take into consideration, if he plays another like 9-drop, all he really is saying is that he's a extra 9k body, because you would have spent the down on the other body anyway. But it's like, considering that's Blue's biggest problem. Blue's biggest problem is always just because they don't have rush. You know, they don't have rush, so it's getting the extra attacks on the board, the extra bodies, and it's the fact that he also does it without taking a resource from you. He just cheats it off the top. Like, it's so and that's another thing too. He's also just a +1 at the end of the day, and he's like probably the best +1 in the game. I can't think of a better one.
As long as you play it correctly. I mean, like I said, like if you're top decking, it can whiff.
Right.
Worst case scenario, it's still a 9k body.
A 9k body, and like unless you're hitting an event, you're gonna get something out of it.
Yeah.
You know, I would imagine you're probably not playing 10-drop Kaidos if you're running this card, so there shouldn't be any characters you're really whipping on, but you know. What number would you assign this, Nick? I didn't hear a numeric value from you.
Yeah, no, I was trying to, and then I realized I was cutting it all off. No, you're fine. I would have also said 4.5 realistically.
Yeah. Oh, this card is... Oh my god. I love this card so much. I'm genuinely so excited to be able to play this card in literally anything. There were plays... Oh, I guess we'll have to address the next card then before we can I guess discuss that. So next...
Also,
the
art on it also, I just want to say, prime.
It's just Sanji's ass. What do you...
No. Don't make it weird. The art on it is super nice, and that's not even the alt art. Ooh.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Oh, is it a? I just noticed it's a secret.
Yeah, these are both
Our secrets of the set have been revealed. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Do we move into the other secret, or do we talk about our other boy in black?
I think we move on to the other secret.
Yeah, I think we do both the secrets.
In flavor of the starter deck, right?
Okay, fine. All right. God. All right, we have Rowena, Zolo, green character, 9 cost, 9,000 power, / Straw Hat Crew. Another Straw Hat 9k searchable. When attacking once per turn, for 1 Dawn, you can set this character as active. Activate main once per turn. For 2 Dawn, set this character as active. So, 9k, and for 3 Dawn, he swings 3 times. Oh my god.
So, here's my problem with it.
I didn't expect that.
Even if next turn you put 10 Dawn on it, even with all 3 attacks, he can't kill Buggy. So
that is true. That is true. If you kill the opponent but you didn't kill the Buggy, did you really win the game?
Exactly. No, I like it, but I don't like it at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I can see why you wouldn't like it with that Buggy debacle, you know.
Well, not because of Buggy. I do think right now, how you get the most value out of your boss monsters, your literal boss monsters, is on play effects. We saw it, like we're seeing it with Kid, 8-drop Kid, unplayable. 8-drop Odin, unplayable, because big bodies can be dealt with. So if that big body doesn't do an on-play effect, you potentially wasted your entire turn because it didn't matter. Don't get me wrong, if this sticks, best boss monster you can have on the board. problem is wasting a whole turn for a body that might not stick. That's my problem with it.
Now, what if you cheat him out off of Blue Sanji?
Right, so that's where it's like, if they have to deal with one of the bodies, right?
Yeah.
No deck, correct me if I'm wrong, but no deck, no kind of sequence of cards can deal with both big bodies at, like, if Sanji cheats this out, I don't really think anything can kind of deal with both of them on the same turn unless you're black with, like, a shit ton of cost reduction.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
You already have a 10-drop Kuzan on board.
I was going to say, you have to have, like, a 10-drop Kuzan and a Isho, and then you drop the 9-cost Shanks.
Exactly. So if they are dealing with a body, they're gonna deal with the Zoro, right? If this card sticks, it's lethal next turn.
Yeah. Oh
Problem is getting stick. But oh my god, 3 attacks for 3 Dawn, 9k normal. It's strong. I don't think it's what green needed though.
I don't know because I don't know how consistently something like this outside of decks with Red Rock. I don't know what other. I think all the other colors struggle to answer this. Like, I think this sticks guaranteed against yellow. Red isn't even running like Jet Pistol like they used to anymore, so I think he's sticking against red. You know, I think.
I don't know. Red is still doing like Gordon stuff like that. Some red decks. I think he sticks against red maybe half the time.
Yeah.
For me. Maybe a little more than half.
Well, I think more. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think they can answer him. I don't think it's a clean. You know.
But also, this is where we're running into red is super aggro. So if you're dropping a 9-drop body against red, that means that they get a whole turn where you did nothing and they're swinging against you because you are now dawnless and you spent your whole turn.
Fair, but I also feel like the only reason you would have ever put him on the board is if, you know, you wouldn't die as a result. So you'd kill him next turn.
But no counter also, so you also have to think, like, if you're playing this, you're trying to get him on the board, right?
Yeah, this card is... I'm a very big fan of this card. I think he's sticking to the board most of the time. I've even been playing around with, like, 7-drop Croc, for example, because I've noticed, like, bodies just kind of stick to the board now. I mean, this is, of course, OP04, and this card, these aren't coming out till, like, OP06, but still, like... I think outside of, like, Black Blue Sakazuki... things are probably sticking to the board moving forward. Because what's our best deck going to be? We're assuming it's yellow, green, Yamato. I don't see how she's answering like a 9-drop Zoro who hits the board, you know?
Yeah, so she's going to beat you before you hit 9 Dawn.
That is true, actually. I love this card, though. I think it's also, like, it shows us the power creep that we're dealing with. Because in OP02, we were paying 3 Dawn to get 2 swings out of Odin. Now we are in OP06 where we're paying the same amount of Dawn divided for 3 swings. Like, yeah, and it only costs 1 more Dawn.
I mean, this is a good card. Having the 9 stat line keeps it like free of Katakuri, stuff like that. So don't get me wrong, good card if it sticks. If this sticks, I'm shitting myself.
Yeah.
Spending the whole 9 Dawn and not getting an on play is really a hefty price though, which is why it's so strong.
Yeah.
But if sticks, man, I mean, you lose the game if it sticks.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this card a 4. I was gonna give it a 4.5, but the fact that with 3 attacks you can't kill Buggy, really? That really
yeah, that's kind of wild.
It really takes away.
Did you have anything else to say about the card before we give it ratings?
No, I mean, the card's just absurd because you don't even have to use all, like, I know it's 3 Dawns for 3 attacks in a turn, but you don't even have to use all of them. A solid 4.
Yeah, I'd honestly agree with the 4. Good card.
Yeah, I think this will probably be like the most. It's crazy because I think it's like the most aggressive card we've probably ever seen. So for the peak of aggression to hit a 4 is kind of crazy, but my God, if this card sticks, you do not survive. There's no way. Because what's the math on that? The math is potentially he can swing 16
7,
3 times.
Yeah.
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 And he's green, and green has the power to rest blockers, bro.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's gross. It's gross. I will say though, I think the problem with it is that I think it's an amazing card. I don't think it's what green needed.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Now
one of the next cards is going to be better for green than this.
Yeah. Now we're moving on to what is my second favorite card of the new ones revealed. Gecko Moria, black character, 8 cost, 9,000 power, special, 7 Warlords of the Sea. There's that dopey support you wanted, Nick.
Yeah.
Thriller Bark Pirates, on play.
Fuck out of here with that.
Choose up to 1 cost 4 or less, and up to one cost 2 or less character card from your trash. Play one of them, then play the remaining rested.
Oh, he had potential.
I like this card. I do. My only problem I have with this card, my only beef with this card is that it is an 8 cost instead of a 7 cost, so you can't leader ability in the same turn. That's where it loses me.
But he is your leader ability for the turn, like, and it's on an 9k body. I don't know. I love it.
I do like it. I'm with Chris on it, as I was really hoping that they would give, especially with how powerful other decks are getting, I was really hoping that this would be a 7 drop. So like 10 Dawn, you have your turn laid out for you. You get 4 bodies, which I guess maybe would be a little bit too strong. But I mean, we're talking a 10 Dawn boss monster, right?
Now, I will say, I've seen some people theory crafting plays with it. And one of the prime targets a lot of people are talking about is the 4-cost blocker Rebecca as your 4-cost. So he would cheat her out, and then she would pick up and cheat out another body. So off just that one target, you now have 3 bodies on board. And then there's your second target. You know, it could be the new Sanji that we saw that is drawing 2, trashing 2. It could be your blocker. It could be a Suru. You could be bringing out, like with your 4-cost, the Lucci that pops 2 and a Suru to hit, like increase the threshold what he can hit. I've seen a lot of a play that people have been talking about where it's in Black Blue Sakazuki, the 2-cost event where you gain 3k and then you bottom deck a 2 or less. People have been talking about like using this character, grabbing back the Rebecca, then the Rebecca grabs back like a Hina and then plays it, and then like a Suru from discard, for example. It could be really whatever, but a Suru. So that's -7 on just bodies that he revived, and then with the event you can bottom a 9 or less, which I thought sounded high roll when Garen was first telling me about it, but realistically all you need is this and the event, and that's literally it. Everything else is in the discard. Sakazuki discards the cards into the discard for you throughout the game. I don't know, I like this card. I like this card a lot, and he's not limited in any way. He doesn't have to bring back Thriller Bark. He doesn't have to bring back a color.
He's not leader locked. He's not type locked. So this is honestly going to be a black staple boss monster. Like I feel like, because right now the 8-drop boss monster is Isho, but a lot of decks just literally don't care about Isho. They say, okay, this is a card that no matter the state of the game, this hits the board. It does. You can get the 4-drop Kuzan, get a draw card as well. I mean, just the potential with this card is insane. I will give it that. I was really hoping it would be 7-drop and leader locked. Just to make Gecko Moria that much stronger, but as an 8-drop, this card is stupidly insane. It is really... You know, it's a really strong... I like this card a lot. I think that this is, like you said, I think it is a black staple moving forward. And I think, but also, though, because like we were talking about how, like, I don't know if it was us specifically, but no, it was Garen. Any deck that has access to blue got, like, a major buff with, like, the Sanji, the 9-cost Sanji. Yeah. Any deck with access to black just got like a hell of a buff with Gecko Moria as one of their boss characters they can play with now. And also, he just doesn't take setup. I mean, because you do have to have bodies in the discard, but just naturally, just through progression of the game, there should be targets in there is the thing. You know, you don't need a Perona or anything to set up his power plays and stuff. It's just the game's progressing. Cards are going to the discard. He's hitting the board. He's bringing them back. And then one of the bodies doesn't even have to come out like... Only one of the bodies is rested, and you choose which, you know. So I don't know. I like this card a lot. I really like this card. So while I said I think Sanji is a 4.5 truly, but I like it enough to give it a 5, I think Gecko just is a 5. I love this card. I think this card's 100%. Insane. Because my gripe with him being 8 instead of a 7, that's like Gecko specifically. Every other black leader though, that doesn't even really matter. It's like he's just a power play. He is. And it's up to red black guard.
That's what I was trying to tell Garen. He told me I didn't know what I was talking about.
Cheat out at 3-drop Zoro from trash. Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
a thing.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if I can give it a 5. I'm thinking it is up there. Like if there was ever a card that, you know what, I mean. It doesn't even take the setup that Sanji takes. I would, as a generic black card, put this up at like a 4.75, right near the 5.
Nick?
Oh, I said 4.5 as well.
Oh my god, you guys are crazy. Oh,
it's a good card.
It's card.
I mean, Now, we are seeing power creep, so we're kind of expecting... Well, that's
That
the
is
thing,
true,
like,
actually, you're right. You're right.
Right, we're expecting cards like this, right?
Yeah.
For, like, boss monsters, they're kind of expected to have an effect this good, or they're not playable.
Right, and that's kind of what we were looking at with that green Zoro.
Exactly. So it's like, this coming out, instant game changer. And like I said, on-play effect. Instant... It changes the board state instantly, drastically.
It does. It really does.
That's what I like about it.
He comes out, and because he's hitting like a 4 on a 2, like he's not establishing like bodies. He's establishing utility or like answers to whatever your current predicament is. Like if you need a blocker's coming out. If you need to pop something, I do love the fact that like just him grabbing a Suru and then something that pops. Like I love that he just does it on his own. Realistically, he kind of just says that I'm a cost 9k that does whatever you need me to do at that moment. Like if you need me to pop, I'm popping something. If you need blockers, there's blockers. It doesn't really matter what it is because what we've been seeing with Gecko, or what we assume I guess to be the case with Gecko, is that he's nothing but utility, the leader and his package. So he is literally just reaching into the toolbox and doing whatever he needs to do in that given moment. And I love the versatility of that. I love this card so much.
Yeah, it's actually insane.
Yeah, what I'm really excited to try this card out in is Black-Green Isho, because you can potentially just get 2 blockers and restand the one that was played rested.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, like
I like this in Black-Green Rano.
What is her ability again?
She gives something -1 cost once per turn, or rest something.
Rest or 4 or less.
I mean, any deck that plays black, but in Isho especially is what I'm really... Because dropping this and getting 2 blockers with it, like a killer, throwing a Dawn on the killer, that's just... Whew.
God,
Because this can bring back the green Ryoma from trash after your leader rested something.
Don't even know what that is, but yeah.
Ryoma's the 4/6 on play or KO a 4 less rested character.
Oh.
We only have 1 black-yellow leader at this time, but I was talking to Nick earlier about, like, for example, this card bringing back, like, a Kiku Nojo, kind of insane.
Honestly, even better, like, if we had black-yellow, bringing back the Sky Island guy that searches the dog and plays the dog.
Yeah, no,
Bro,
I agree.
Nell, that card is the reason Nell is good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree that I think the dog is the win condition.
Well, to be honest, like, not the dog, the guy that plays the dog.
No, it's the dog.
Yeah, you're right.
It's the dog. I saw one NL player, he had 2 dogs on the board, and then he won the game, so...
I mean...
I've used that one moment. Yeah. God, I really do like... Because it's just crazy, too, because it's like, he also... Because, like, as the game gets, like, older and stuff like that, usually cards get weaker because they themselves get power crept. Whereas... Because the effect isn't like him himself, it's the bodies he's bringing out. He only gets stronger as the 4s and less get more powerful as the game goes on. Like, he will only get stronger and stronger, and I'm here for it. I will forever be playing leaders that have access to black moving forward, I'm pretty sure, after OP06. Because my God.
I'm a blue and a yellow player, but I am definitely going to be playing some black in OP06.
Yeah.
Oh.
Moving on to our next card, we have Kozuki Momonosuke. Yellow character, 5 cost, 6,000 power, wisdom. Wano Kozuki clan. Blocker, and on play, place up to 1 of your Wano type characters other than Kozuki Momonosuke on top or bottom of its owner's life pile face up. He's probably the weakest card from the bunch we're going to be looking at, but he is still a good card. Not insane, but good.
But 5-drop 6k blocker, so he blocks those 5s.
Yeah.
And
so he's Yellow's Queen.
Yeah, but I was about to say, look at the other 5/6 blockers, Kid and Queen.
Yeah, but 5/6 gain a life, not the worst. Like, this could potentially put the 4-drop Zoro back into the top life that KOs something on trigger.
No, it only puts back Wano. Is 4-drop Zoro a Wano?
Yeah, he is. I'm looking at him now.
Yeah.
So let's look at green.
Kiku Nojo. He protects her. She can't be answered. And she comes out for free. You don't have to discard a card.
Yeah, and that's true. Oh, wow, that's actually really true. So, like, basically, swing with her, play him to protect her, throw her at the top of life, so you just gained a life and protected your Kiku. Honestly, with the new yellow just play from life cards, this card's actually pretty damn good.
I like him. Yeah, because for me the only problem is that, like, because not all of them are that good, you know. Like I think with her specifically, it's insane. And then there's the other guy that comes out that, like, you discard 2 heal, so potentially he puts the healer in the life, and then the healer comes out and then heals again. Or like he puts the Kiku in the life, and the Kiku comes out, dies, and then heals. So like the amount of heal that's happening there is kind of absurd. But I do think the amount of targets is kind of limited. So I do think there will probably be times where you'll have this card and it won't be ideal to play him. Because that kind of sucks too, not being able to just like drop your blocker whenever you want. Sometimes like your blocker taking setup. And it's not the hardest setup in the world. Like, I'm not by no means saying it's like it's hard or anything, but you know, there will probably be times where you need a blocker and you just throw them on the board for no effect. Is what I'm getting at. I don't know.
I honestly think that this card is the 5-drop 6k blocker that yellow needed, and I think it's actually like really, with the new Wano cards coming out and the ones already existing, I think that this card is actually really strong, and it is going to be an auto include in yellow.
Really?
I do think so. Like, the more I think about it, I mean, think about it. For 5 Dawn, usually right now yellow, unless you get a trigger that gains you life, you're not gaining life until you hit like at least 8 Dawn.
Yeah.
This is a 5-drop, so it's a blocker, so it immediately absorbs one of your life hits, right?
Right.
Or if you're swinging with 5s, even like 2, maybe. Plus it's gaining you a life, plus it's protecting a body for you. It does everything that you would want it to do except for having 1k counter, which at that point I think it would just be like a 6 out of 5.
Yeah.
I actually think that this card is stupid good.
Oh, huh. I don't... For me, because it's like, with him only interacting with specifically Wano, and the only Wano that really do anything in life being yellow Wano, so I think the pool gets smaller. And then with the yellow Wano cards, I don't think they're all that great. I think Kiku Nojo's insane. I think that the yellow one... I think the one that discards 2 heals is okay. I think the one that can't be KO'd by card effects, I think he's like mid. So I just feel like the pool of characters that he can put into the life is very, like, if he could just throw a Shirahoshi in the life, I'd be completely on board with this character. But I think with the fact that it has to be Wano, and I don't think they're all, you know, that amazing. That's why I'm not as big on him. Because I think, like, for example, let's say, like, because I think the only staple that comes out of them is the Kiku Nojo and maybe the one that heals life. And if those are your only targets, I don't know if like you would even really run this, because how often, you know, will you be have a target on the board to put in life that you even want to put in life at that time and stuff like that.
Nah, you played one on though, I promise.
With that being said, for me personally, and I could very easily be wrong, I think this card's like a 3.5.
I'll give him a 4. For yellow, yeah, 4.
I'm gonna say that's generous. I'd give him a 3. It's a 6k blocker, 5 cost, no counter power. Yeah, it heals, but the heal's very specific.
Yeah, but because I think when he does heal though, it's gonna be like healing on 5 is gonna be insane. And then the thing that, because he is so specific with what he puts in life, like if he does use his effect, then the thing that's coming out of life is relevant. You know, it's always gonna feel really, really good to resolve him and all of that. But yeah, those are my gripes with him. I think he's a good card by all means. Because YouTube commenters, my god, you say anything bad about a card, you could give a card a 4.5, and if you have any amount of criticism, they're fucking furious. We were doing the green blue structure deck or starter deck. You know that one ass event, the one cost like look at top 3 or whatever, and then play like a 2 or lower, or no, specifically a 2. We talked about how mid that card was, bro. There was one comment I couldn't even tell it was satire or not. The guy was like, wow, you guys obviously aren't thinking what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to keep 2 Dawn open so that you could put use Desert Spotter to stack the top, and then you use this to play the card you stacked. It's like, bro, are you fucking serious? I'm taking 2 cards in my hand and play a 2 cost off the top of my deck? Is that really the play here? I was like, cause it was like, when he said that, I was like, bro, you're making the card sound worse. Like, oh my god. But I guess with that being said, we will move on. I was gonna say the last card, but no, there's another. I forgot. Who do you guys want to talk about next? I'll let you pick.
Hody.
Yeah, Hody.
Okay. Hody Jones, green characters, 7 cost, 8,000 power, strike, Fishman, new Fishman pirates. Rush, green has rush. On play, rest up to a total of 2 of your opponent's characters and or Dawn. Then, put the top of your life cards into your hand. A 7 cost, 8k
Green
with
rush.
rush that tops 2. Taps 2.
That's a good card.
It is. It is.
I still don't like the Hody Jones leader having to rest itself to like prevent the life, but honestly, I think in any deck that plays green, drawing a life for this card is worth it.
Oh, it's so worth it. This is in 7 cost 8k rush. Because we've been seeing 7/7 up to this point. We've seen it on Ichiji, we've seen it on Ace, we've seen it on Yellow NL, or I guess NL, because that's the only NL. 7/7 has been the standard. He's a 7/8, and he's tapping 2 things. And if the tapping isn't relevant, if there's no blockers, like I don't expect it to come up as often, but like say you're playing against a green purple Dofi, for example, you tap their 2 Dawn, and then you just hit them.
Yeah. So, or even Whitebeard tap their Dawn. And Whitebeard having no Dawn is huge. Nick, correct me if I'm wrong. As a judge, I want to say that if you have no life, you still get the full on-play ability.
Yeah, so if you look at the card itself, I know it's a trans translation, but the add 1 to life isn't bolded. It's part of the effect.
Yeah.
So you'll still be able to rest 2 even if you have 0 life.
Yeah, that's what I'm figuring, because it's not put the top card of your life into your hand and then do that ability, because it's like, hey, no matter what, do this and then do that. Which is really good, because now green has a way, usually against green, card leaders without rush, it's so easy to be like, okay, so they have 1 swing next turn, and I have 1 life. There's no way that they can kill me.
The green
But
problem.
now with green, you can't really think like that.
The green problem.
Yeah, the green problem. That's what makes the card so strong, is it now gives green that, just
explosive
lethal
play, yeah.
Yeah.
I like this card. I like this card a lot.
A lot.
And yeah, the picking up the life not being mandatory. Because my God, imagine you tap your leader and now you just don't get your character's effect.
You know what I really, ironically, really like this leader in? What's the Arlong leader?
I knew it.
Because then you can also Arlong ability. Like,
that's fair. Oh, he has 7, you're right.
Yeah.
He's 7.
Don't get me wrong, not enough to make the leader good, but if I'm gonna, make some meme decks, this is going long.
Because I was gonna say, even if it did make that leader good, the fact that he's sharing his color pool with Yamato, he's doomed.
Oh, God.
He's set up for failure.
Oh, wait. Putting this in the yellow-green Yamato and then just...
Oh my God.
Oh my
7/10 rusher
You
instead
have
of
a
a 7/9.
7/10 rush, dude. What the...
7/10 rusher, that is what Yamato wants. It taps the blockers.
7/10 rusher that taps the blockers, then you still have 3 Dawn for your leader with double attack.
My God.
What
God.
What?
Oh my God. It's crazy
nuts.
for us to get there. We had to first discuss Arlong.
Yeah, right?
It should have started with Yamato, realistically.
It really should have. I had high ambitions, and I like to not think about Yamato.
No, I get it. I like this card a lot. I like this card a lot.
If anybody had any, like, what's it called? Any, like, doubts that Yamato was going to be a top-tier leader, I think this just completely gets rid of those doubts instantly.
Oh my God. Because we even know how powerful it is. Just all the time we've been talking about how she has had a 7/9 rusher in NL. That's just changed. She's just gotten better. She's just got a better target. Like,
She's just not even going to play NL now. There's no reason to when you can run 4 copies of this.
well, Mihawk's running around. You could bottom this. You can't bottom the NL. Maybe there's something there. But
I mean, honestly, Yamato doesn't have, like, the yellow, keep my life up. Yamato is just more aggro. Like,
of course.
I think Yamato's the new Zoro, especially with this card.
She is.
I think it's just... Why play Zoro when you can have double attack?
With all of that being said, as much as I like this card, I'm gonna give him... No, 4 seems too low. I'm gonna give him a 4.5 seems too high though. I'm gonna give him a 4.25. Can you give him a 5?
I'm gonna give him a 5 because first it's,
What?
if I'm not mistaken, the first rush that Green has.
No. There's another. I think we've only seen 2 new Fishman pirates. I think they're both rushers.
Okay,
No, the other one does not have rush.
Oh no, it
Yeah.
plays a character.
And
That's
this
right.
rest bodies. This just sets up lethal every way I look at it. Like this card is, honestly, it's too strong.
I was gonna say Hody Jones. We've only seen 2 of his cards, and they're both fucking insane. They're both really good.
For a 7-drop, this card is way too strong.
My God.
I gotta go 5, dude. What about you, Nick?
4.5. I'm gonna go 4.5 on him.
I like him a lot. The grabbing the life to hand I think is costly to where I don't know if Yamato will actually play it. Because you're on a 4 life leader and now on a 3 life leader. So I'd say a 4.
Well, because
So
I would
thing with
say...
Yamato is this sets up lethal that turn. Like when you're on 0 life, doesn't even matter. You just play it.
I will say, too, because, like, Yamato's previous rusher was NL, and, well, because, he just has rush by default, so he doesn't have to pick up the, life to get the
he
rush.
makes up a life to save himself.
Well, no, I was going to say with this guy, he doesn't have to pick up the life to gain his rush. He just has it. But it looks like the effect is mandatory also.
I think this should say trash a life, not draw a life. But with yellow, like the fact that Yamato will have yellow, he also have cards like El Thor that I think she's going to be playing. So like that, the fact that you'll still have 3 Dawn open potentially is...
I can't picture Yamato playing a 7/10 rusher that... I can't picture Yamato not playing a 7/10 rusher that taps blockers. I feel like this is right up her alley. This screams Yamato to me.
This is at least a 3 of in Yamato, like at least.
Okay, I don't know about that.
100%.
Oh,
One-
that.
No, there's no. This is 100% a 3 of in Yamato at least.
I do think it's a 3 of. I can't picture her running the full 4. That seems crazy to me. But with all of that being said, I do definitely think you cut some NL copies. I think you run more of these than you do NL. I'll say that much.
100.
If you're even still running NL. But we'll move on to our final character, Vincent Smoke Judge, purple character, 8 cost, 8,000 power / Vincent Smoke family, Germa 66. On play, Dawn -1, you may trash 2 cards from your hand, play up to 4 Germa 66 type characters with 4,000 power or less from your trash with different names. Activate main, once per turn, Dawn -1, rest up to 1 of your opponent's Dawn cards. So the reason I wanted to let you guys choose was because part of me kind of feels like ending on this card, at least for me personally. I feel like we're ending on one of our weaker links. I'm actually not that big on this card.
I like it for that deck. For that deck, it's exactly the boss monster that it needed.
Because for me, go for it.
I still say, and people are going to hate me for this, but I still say that it's a gimmick deck.
Yeah.
But if the deck had a boss monster, this would be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are gonna tunnel vision on that play like up to 4. I think a lot of people are gonna be like, "What do you mean the card's not that great? You play 4 characters." Well, for first things first, they have to have different names. So that means you have to have all of them in the discard pile.
That's up to you. Don't have to play all 4 of them.
No. I understand that, but I'm saying unless you have all 4, you're never playing 4 characters off of him. You would have to have 1 of each to ever get the maximum effect out of him. And then when those bodies come out, because they don't really do much of anything besides float into their bigger targets, you have to, so they're set up. For one, you have to have the bodies, the little ones in the discard pile, and then you also have to have the bigger ones in the discard pile as well to get maximum like usage out of this card. So that's why I'm not that big on it. Like, I think the setup there, you play this, and then because realistically, like, you're probably gonna have 2 or 3 of them in the discard pile. I don't really ever see you getting all 4 off of it. And then even if all 4 are in there, you know, he is one of your 5 characters. So unless your board is completely empty, I don't know if that'll ever like be the ideal play. But anyway, you play him. Let's say all 4 are in the discard pile. Then you play all 4 of them. And then for all those 4 to get their maximum payoff, then they have to have their rate suit in the discard pile or the hand. So I don't know. You're establishing a bunch of bodies and all that. That's really nice. but the bodies, I think the bodies are very mediocre. That's my problem. He takes setup, and then his bodies that he brings out take setup. There's multiple layers of setup to it that lose me.
So my issue with it is it's an 8-drop, which doesn't mean that you're going to get it on turn 4 or 5, because if you're playing the small bodies early, you're minusing Dawn.
Right.
And this archetype right now doesn't have a gain Dawn card, so you're going to have to use generic ones like Zoro Juro.
Right.
So you're not really going to be playing this on your average 8 Dawn turn, so this is really going to be like your 10 or past that Dawn turn. So to me, it's also, you're now neg-3ing, and I believe only one of them that you're going to get from trash is a blocker. So you're going -3 from hand and getting 1 blocker. This deck loses to an aggro deck 100%. It's 100%. This deck stands no chance against something like, and I hate to bring it up again, but Yamato, even Zoro, Whitebeard, this deck just gets trashed. I think it just has too many weaknesses for me to like this card.
Yeah, I think also for you to get maximum value out of this card, it does require that you are running all 4 of the bodies. I don't think all 4 of them are even worth running, to be completely honest. Like the blue one, I don't know if I would ever even run it. So if I'm not running that, I'm at most getting 3 bodies off of this card. And then, like I was saying before, the 3 bodies also take setup on their part. And it's like, well, you know, when the grave is set up, this is probably one of like the strongest plays in One Piece. You know, if they are all in there, then you get a 4/6 blocker, you get a draw 2, and then you get a 7k rusher. You know, that's insane. But that's high roll. That's not always going to happen. And also, like you were saying, like you can't drop this on 4. Even if you could, you know, I feel like that's so early in the game that there's no way the discard pile is set up, you know, to even justify dropping him on the board. Like, I think he just takes too much setup. Is the thing.
Also, the main effect is just so fucking random.
Yeah, it is actually. It's really random. I think because and I think too, it's gonna be one of those like characters where like you see people like running it on YouTube, for example, and like you're basically gonna be watching their highlight reel, you know, like, whoa, look at this amazing crazy play that I did with this card. And I think like a lot of more casual players will look at that and be like, wow, look at how powerful that play was. See, I knew this was a good card. But it's like, they're cherry picking the games that they show you and the interactions with the opponent that are taking place. And you're not going to see all of the games where they got their ass brushed down by like a Bello Betty or a Zoro or things like that.
Right.
You know?
And to go against my earlier point of neg-3ing, it is actually only a neg-1 because the Reiju does give you 2 draws at that point.
That's true.
Which isn't bad.
If the little Reiju's in the discard and then the big Reiju's in the hand or the discard. So it has the potential to be, but, you know, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this card. I like it. I love it flavorfully. I think what it's doing is fun as all fuck. But I don't think that this is like all that competitive.
Yeah, and I like it non-competitively. I think that this is a great locals idea.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I love my locals decks. You know, go and just meme, have fun, high roll your ass off. This does that. Yeah. So I'll give it a 3 because I like the idea, but like as a power level, I'm gonna give it a 2.25. I will also give it a 3. Cause I also love my local. I love Man in Blurple Crocodile. I'm fucking around with Red Black Garp right now. Like, I think a lot of people will treat like us saying he's not competitive as like a death sentence or something, which is by no means the case. Cause it's not every card has to be like meta, you know? There can be fun cards that cause not everybody's also even competing at that level of play for that to even be necessary. But I do like this card. It has its issues, it has its flaws, but it is a fun card. And I do think I think Germa 66 will probably be one of the most fun decks we're probably going to see in this game for a hot minute. So that's why I'm at that 3. I just can't wait for the YouTube videos. They slept on this deck. Germa.
Anything you want to weigh in on this one, Nick?
It's all right. It's fun, not competitive. It's just unfortunate because, like, I feel like we talked about this, like potentially being a boss monster judge to bring out all of the other, what are they called? Just
Germa
Vincent
66,
Smokes, I guess. Yeah, it's just it's too costly. On play Dawn -1, trash 2 cards from hand, and bring them back if you have them, and then all the little ones also minus Dawn. It's just too much for too little payout.
It
I
really
would probably
is.
give it a 2.5.
Because I also think too, like, on 8 Dawn, because I feel like whenever they're dropping him, I feel like he probably will beat all of their Dawn is the thing. Because they have, for one, they have to be behind the opponent on Dawn, you know, to even be getting their effects off. So if you're dropping him 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to be on 8 or 9 Dawn, because all your little bodies along the way, all your stepping stones are also minusing Dawn to enable themselves. Because if your discard pile is set up, it means you've been resolving those effects. So you're definitely not at 10.
We are gonna get so much fucking hate. You guys have no idea.
Bro.
Like, some people, if you look at the old videos, some people are kind of diehard Jarma. Like, I saw some guy do this with the deck, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
sure.
No, I'm sure you did.
We're gonna get a lot of hate. I think a lot of people will agree with us, but there are gonna be those people that are just butthurt about it.
Yeah, that's why I was hesitant to end the video on this one, you know, but alas, here we are. So, those are our ratings. Tell us why you believe we are wrong. And, I'll probably not read the comments. So, anything you guys want to say before we close this video out?
No, that's it.
Blue got justice.
Blue did get justice.
Blue got justice.
Black also got justice. Oh my god. This
Yes,
Gecko
it
Moria. This Gecko Moria is...
Very excited.
Oh my god. But with that being said, until next time, we'll see you guys.
See ya.
Bye.